Hello everyone, and welcome back to another world building video for the Voyager's Guide to Ravean. Today we're actually going to cover a god, and actually goddess, that we do see in the campaign a little bit more than the others. This time we're going to cover the Scarlet Maiden, so if we jump down to her page in the guide, the Scarlet Maiden is a good aligned goddess of war and tactical fighting. She is commonly seen as an almost inspiring and teaching force, the maker of generals under her banner. She works very hard to undo the efforts of another goddess known as the Crimson Tactician, who, in stark contrast to the Scarlet Maiden's ideals, spreads war by manipulation of the people that follow her. The Scarlet Maiden works to inspire leaders to the forefront of mortal conflict in the hopes of avoiding conflict wherever possible, but always being prepared for it. At times, the leader's action is needed, but more often than not, their wisdom is needed to avoid the bloodshed. The Scarlet Maiden's goal is to always be prepared for the conflict, but strive to avoid one. So, the Scarlet Maiden is a powerful force of development, often knowing what her pupils need to learn and grow, and counseling them on how to respond and react to challenges in broader terms. Ultimately, the Maiden is recognized that free will and mortal ingenuity are the defining traits of a person's development, and she will not rob someone of their own free will. Rather, she will work with it. The Scarlet Maiden is often revered and followed by those that wish to grow as leaders among their people. These loyal follow a certain few tenets. Power affords the wielder with the burden of responsibility to those without it. Knowledge is the best weapon available to a warrior. Leaders inspire those around them to action. The greatest strength of character is to lay down the sword even while it's at your enemy's throat. So, let's break this down quite a bit. If you've been keeping up with the campaign so far, one of our player characters, Sudi Velignacia, has been the follower of the Crimson Tactician, a goddess of manipulation and everything along those lines. She has been reached out to by the Scarlet Maiden. The Scarlet Maiden sees potential. That's kind of what she does. So, the Scarlet Maiden looks into people. She looks into the hearts and minds of mortals, seeing what they need and seeing, in theory, what they could be. She can see what people could grow to become, and she will see these things as either a leader on a grand scale, the leader of a nation, an army, anything like that for the traditional leader general kind of a fight kind of a thing, or the development of simply a young couple hoping to become a family and growing as this strong community force that develop on their own. She wants to help them to develop. And so she's almost less of a god of war and tactics so much as a god of personal growth. She has almost one of the more niche goals for different gods. She wants to inspire people to grow and take charge of their own lives. So, whatever goal they might actually have is part of their journey towards actual growth and development. So, in our campaign, just not to spoil too much, Sudi, for example, is searching for revenge. Being a goddess of war and tactical fighting, but then growth, she doesn't necessarily sponsor revenge for the sake of revenge. That would be something much more in line with the Crimson Tactician in theory. But the Scarlet Maiden sees a potential for Sudi. She sees what Sudi can become. And if getting her revenge and pursuing this revenge will lead to a greater journey for growth, she will support her every step of the way. She will help her do what she needs to do to find happiness. Because ultimately, Sudi will probably be more happy when she has control over her life. Now, this means, at least from this broader term, that the Scarlet Maiden is supportive of a few different causes. She is supportive of regular everyday people for whatever goal they might have. She wants them to grow. She is, however, for my player characters, wanting them to grow and has a soft, tentative plan. She recognizes free will. She will not force anyone to do anything, and abhors the idea that there are other gods that would see themselves as much higher in standing than mortals. She hates the idea that a god, being in a much higher standing than mortals themselves in terms of power level and control, has the right or the obligation to control mortals' actions, thoughts, beliefs, or anything. She believes that free will is one of the defining traits of life, and she wants to support that. So, communication with this goddess is almost frustrating because she ends up being almost more of a, well, I don't know, what do you want? What's going to make you happy? Kind of a goddess. And when you respond with whatever you're going to respond with, she's more likely to take a note of that and go, okay, then how do we get you there? She's more of a supportive force for the sake of being supportive to inspire growth. So, this stands in stark contrast to the Crimson Tactician. The Tactician, as we'll learn in her video later on, is a little bit more of a, I am a god, do whatever I say. I am in control here, kind of a goddess. So the Scarlet Maiden, seeing that this goddess is trying to actively take away someone's free will, is going to reach out to the people affected by her and inspire them to take control of their lives. Now, in the more recent episodes that we'll end up seeing as the party gets closer and closer to the city of Moonshade, there is a temple to the Scarlet Maiden. It's a little bit odd, but the temple is in part a temple of worship and in part a hot springs relaxation bath called the Maiden's Respite. It's just off of this magical campus, this magic school called Ravean Academy. In this temple, being a part of what seems to be a unfitting respite for like a hot spring bath is a little bit odd, but part of the reason that this is even a thing is that the maiden is there to inspire growth. Understanding that sometimes you do have to stop your fight to breathe. You cannot fight an uphill battle forever. You can't even fight a battle forever. So, taking a minute as you grow to recharge and gain that respite is part of why the Blade Maidens, the followers of the Scarlet Maiden that run this temple, have cultivated a area that is rejuvenating for people. They want to make life supportive for people because ultimately you'll get burnt out and you will not be able to grow when you're burnt out. So taking a break every now and then so that you can catch your breath is something that she is very supportive of because she needs you to grow, but she isn't going to force you to grow. She wants you to do it well so that you can become who you want to be. So, in a sense, if I were to sum up why she's a goddess of war and tactical fighting, she's a goddess of war and tactical fighting on the basis of your battles. What are your struggles? What are the things that you as an everyday person deal with? It could be simple. Something as simple as having an extremely long work shift that leaves you exhausted, and it's a battle to get through every day. She is the god to stand there and fight by your side. Help you get through the day, so that ultimately at the end of it, you can grow and feel as though you've made progress to becoming a better person. She wants to be an inspiration, and she wants to help you fight your own personal battles. At the same time, a unified force under her banner does want to do good. The Blade Maidens under her care do want to do good, and will try to do it at any cost. They will do what they must to be able to inspire and support people, being effectively the Scarlet Maiden within the world, standing at the backs of their fellow man to support them, to bring them comfort and help them grow. That is what she is all about. So, that is the Scarlet Maiden. If you were to run her within your campaign, you could run her a little bit more as a warrior goddess, but also almost a therapist. She is a supportive force that wants the best for you and will challenge you to search for what you need and challenge you to consider, what do you want? That, at least, is how I've been trying to run her in our Ravean campaign. So, thank you all for tuning in. We'll end up doing a few more gods over the next few videos, but keep an eye out for them and we'll see kind of what comes next. Remember, it doesn't take that much to make a difference out there. If you want, I should mention, we do have various ciphers at the end of all of the videos. If you can solve them, leave your answers in the comments and we'll see what you can end up figuring out for the Ravean lore over time. So, either way, as I was saying, it doesn't take much to make a difference out there, so be the difference that you want to see. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye.